Yeah, this past week, you were required for this class to place a few objects on your lot here. Um,
Yeah.
and we're ready to go to the next lesson now, but we need to have what you did this past week there so we can document it and then move on. So could you do that? Could you, the next couple minutes, duplicate your poll and paste in some object names just to show that you can do it? Because we need to have we need to have graphic proof, an image that shows that you were able to do that.
Yeah. Got you.
Okay.
Isabella, I wonder if you could come with your avatar and stand in your lot. I just need to take a picture of your avatar there. So, those of you, especially those of you on Macs, Leo, you're on a Mac, aren't you? I don't know if you if you guys, you could all do this. Go up to Settings and click on Settings, and you'll see that a box comes up. And if you click on the Performance tab, it defaults to that. I have mine set on highest quality, but if you go down below to the bottom, you can set it down probably second from the end or so. If you set it as low as it'll go, then it doesn't show the avatars, the custom avatars. But I think, and then of course you have to go Apply and OK. But then that will restart your active world. So if you're not having any problems, I wouldn't bother with that. But if you're having problems with it crashing, that will reduce the drag on your computers, and I think especially Macs. Yeah, and so if you can fly to your build, and of course, then I'll take that picture. I have to have some proof that you guys are working in here, so I hope those of you that have empty lots, I hope you filled them up by now. It doesn't take long to do. Okay, here comes Isabella.
Yeah, here she comes. Okay, guys.
And I'll probably just do this while Scott is teaching the
Okay.
class. But I'll get Isabella. Gabe, I'm going to take your picture right now. Okay, so I don't know if you see where I am, but
Here's one thing that we. Oh, Jeremiah, you're not under your lot. Your lot's over here.
okay, Emery,
You see your
go to your lot.
where I'm standing, Jeremiah? There's a lot with your name on a big box above your lot over here. That's right. I'm standing on your lot right now, Jeremiah. Yeah. So yeah, put your objects there. I'm gonna quickly make sure that everybody in here. You might already know how to do it, and that's fine. Just as long as you really do know how to do this. But I want to quickly show you how to take a screenshot in here in 3DU, and then how to be able to paste that into a Word document, and then you can mail it out if you need to, or save it for yourself if you need to. But that's one thing we want everybody to know how to do in here. So very quickly, I'm going to go through exactly how to take a screenshot. So you stand wherever it is that you need to stand to get your shot in. Line yourself up so you got your best shot of whatever it is you're taking a picture of. And then,
I'm back.
and then on your machine, look on your keyboard, and you're looking for a key that says print screen, and most of the time it's abbreviated. On mine it says PRT SCRN. It might just say PRT SCR. But anybody who's got, everybody should probably have a key like that on your keyboard. So look around. It might be an alternate name for a key. In other words, mine, the main key is home, but if I look at the bottom, that same key also says PRT screen, and I have to hold down my function key for a print screen to work.
Okay.
So you might have a key like that, but look around. Anybody who does not have a key on their keyboard that says print screen or PRT SCR? Is there anybody who does not have that?
Okay.
I'm going to assume everybody does. It's a pretty standard one. So were you going to ask me something, Gord?
No, I'm just getting Jeremiah. I just had to come around to where Jeremiah was.
Okay.
There's a different screen button on the Mac.
And I'm getting Isabella now.
Oh, there is? There is? Okay, as long as you know what it is, as long as you know that it will save what's on your screen so you can paste it somewhere, as long as you know what key that is on Mac, that's cool. That's cool. So we're just going to do this really quick. Whatever you're looking at, we're just going to take a sample picture. It doesn't matter what's on your screen. Go ahead and press your button that says PRT screen or print screen. If you have to use the function key, make sure you hold down the function key, the FN key, if it's an alternate on the key I'm talking about. So you just, if it's function, then you would function print screen, and that's just like doing a copy when you're on a document somewhere. So next thing you do is go to your desktop, your main desktop, and create a new text document or a new document on your desktop. Those with Windows, you know, just a regular old Microsoft Word doc, some kind of a Word doc. I don't know what they're called in Macs. But
Google Docs. So, Emily,
okay.
I need you in your lot.
True, you can use Google Docs online too. So once you've got that created on your desktop, open it up. However it's done. Windows, it's a double click. Mac, it's whatever it is for Macs. Open it up, and then you're going to want to paste that image into your Word document. So Windows users, you can just hold down Control and press the letter V as in Victor, and that pastes whatever you've got saved, and that image will show up on your document. Then just save it.
For Mac, you would want to use Command V.
Is that it? Okay, Command V. Okay, that's how you paste. So that is that is the basics, a generic way of doing a screenshot save. There are other ways. We're not going to go into the details now, mostly because we're a little behind today. I do want to get in at least one major lesson and then maybe a couple of other things too. So does anybody have any questions about that? About being able to take a screenshot and then being able to paste it into a new Word doc so you've got your image saved on your hard drive and you can either email it if you need to or save it, whatever you want. Does anybody have any questions about that? You know, do they still not know how to do it? Because we really need you to know how to do that. That's an essential skill, computer skill nowadays. So
I also need Samuel and Joseph in their lots. I don't see Timothy here yet. But Samuel and Joseph, if you can go to your lots, please. I need to take your picture in your lot. Just the two remaining.
I don't see Samuel in 3DU. Unless, he's not. It says
Oh,
he's not.
There's Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Hold it right there, please.
You're welcome.
Does I'm going to assume nobody asked any questions, so I'm going to assume every one of you now knows how to take a screenshot and save it in a document.
Leo, I need you in your lot too.
Get used to it. We'll be taking a screenshot of the past week's work before we start every class now. So let's, hopefully get used to this so we can do this very quickly from now on. Just get over your lot. Mr. Holden will take a picture, or I'll take a picture, and then we'll continue on with lessons from there. We really need to be able to take pictures and show your progress week to week in this class. This is why we're so diligent about this. It needs to be done, and we have to have it. So we got to get that out of the way first every class.
I'm not seeing Leo in class.
Yeah, no, no.
He's on his lot. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
he's
see
standing
him.
right by his door over here.
Thank you. Okay, got it.
Sorry that's like
Okay.
this, guys. Sometimes it gets a little slow, but we've got to get
I'm
used to
done.
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So everybody knows how to take a screenshot in case we ever ask you to. We might ask you to do this in the future. Take a screenshot of something specific we might work on. So anyway, I want to officially welcome all of our friends in here, and hopefully you guys will be much better builders by the time this class is over. So that's my official welcome. So I want everybody now, we now have a picture, we've got a picture of everybody now, right, except Sam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy.
And, oh, that's right. Yeah, Tim did his lesson, but he's not here. Okay. I want everybody to stand by their lot, and we're going to delete everything that's on your lot now that we've taken a picture and we've documented it. And for you guys who might, leave your poll, don't delete the poll if you still have a poll on your lot. For those of you who deleted your poll, I'll put another poll. All we want is your lot and a poll. Everything else should be deleted off of your lot now. I'll give you a poll here. But delete everything else on your lot except the poll. Now, we're not going to do this every week. From now on, for about the next 5 or 6 weeks, every week we're going to take a picture of what you've done for your homework over the week before we start class, and then we're going to add to what's on your lot. And as weeks go by, your lot is going to become increasingly more and more built with increasingly more cool animation features and all the other kind of bells and whistles that we're going to teach. So I'm only saying this so you understand why we're having to do it. So Isabella and everybody else, if you would please delete everything on your lot now. We got a picture of it, so you're not going to lose it. And just leave a poll. I won't do that for Tim. I'll just, because he's not here. Yeah, sorry about that. I know a lot of you guys put some work into this, but you really didn't have to. All we asked is just place a few objects on your lot. But go ahead and, like I said, we got pictures of them now, so they're not lost to history. So you got everything. You want me to help you, Isabella? Because we're waiting on you here. I'll give you a hand here and get everything out quickly. There we go. Get rid of these here. Got to get going. We got to get this most important building lesson in. Here, I'll help you, Leonardo. Just a second here.
I love what you did, Leo.
Yeah, that's very cool. We got a picture of it, so no worries. There, I got all that out of there. Let me get this in here. Give you a poll.
No worries, Hakuna Matata.
There you go. Now you got a poll right exactly in the center. What I want to stress here is the pole that you've got in the middle of your lot is exactly in the center of that lot. And that's going to be important because yeah, it looks bare, sorry. It won't from now on though. So we've got, everybody now has a bare lot with a pole exactly in the center. Now I'm going to share my screen, and it's going to look simple to you guys who have done building before, but this is the real proper way to line up panels. One more quick aside note. We're going to be using a set of objects in here, and I know some of you know what they are. The panels, I'm going to type it in chat. Panels start with PP, which basically just means a panel, flat panel. And they'll be PP01 to PP, I believe, 33. There's 33 of them. And they're all the same size, they just have a different texture on them. That's why they have a different number. So we've also got window panels that are the same size and doorway panels on the same size. And we'll show that in a minute. But the first thing we're going to do is I am going to show you, I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to show you how to make a perfect 4 by 4 meter cube with 4 meter panels, which is what these PPs are. They're 4 meters across and 4 meters high.
And
I'm going to make it, yes.
Can I interrupt for just a second? This may sound very simple, and it is simple, but it's the difference. If you ask me, what you're about to learn is the major difference between those who create awful builds and great builds. Okay? So, although it seems very simple, people who do not do what Scott is about to teach you cannot build great houses and things like that. You just can't do it without what you're learning here today.
The main thing is their panels won't line up. They'll overlap. You don't want anything to overlap or be gappy. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to share my screen real quick. It's really, like we said, it's simple. I'm going to fly up a little bit too. I'm always the kind of guy that likes to fly up a little bit and kind of look straight ahead at my build. So hang on while I share. This is so important, guys. So really, really pay attention. Okay, I am sharing. All right. How do I get rid of? Oh, there we go. This is how we start a new build. The first thing we do is we right-click on a seed object. Right now we've got a perfect seed object. It's right in the center and it's all lined up. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to click duplicate once. Bring it back to exactly where it was, the original. And I'm going to change this. You see, I just highlight and I type in PP01. That's the number 0, PP01. Now I'm going to, so right now, oops, I need to look at it from this point of view. There we go. So right now, I've got a panel right in the exact center of my lot. And I want to make 3 more sides and put these into a cube. So since I know that these are 4 meters this way and 4 meters this way, that's what these PP01 panels are designed to be, 4 meters. Every click when you move is a half a meter. So I'm now going to move my duplicate copy half of the distance away from the center because I want to make a cube. So the other way will be other half. So I'm going to click it 4 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I've moved it 2 meters. Now I'm going to close the box. Now I've moved my 4 meter panel 2 meters away from the center. Now I'm going to duplicate again, move it back to its original place, and I'm going to click it 8 clicks, meaning a half a meter per click or 4 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'll close the box. Now these 2 panels are exactly 8 meters apart, or 4 meters apart, sorry, 8 clicks apart. That means when I put the sides up on the side, these corners will match perfectly. There won't be any gaps and there won't be any overlaps. So I'm going to make my third wall. So I'm going to duplicate it. And that's, of course, 1 click away already. So I will continue 1 click, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's halfway. Now, of course, it's rotated the wrong way, so I'm going to click it in the middle 6 times, which is 90 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a perfect 90 degree. Now I'm just going to move it over 4 more clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now if you look, you will see that there's absolutely no gap, no overlap. That center line does not move when I go from one object to the other, which means it is perfectly sharing that exact same border. And I've got a perfect cube.
Scott,
to finish my cube, just duplicate that third one and move it over 8 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we've got a perfect cube. Sounds simple.
Scott,
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Yes.
Can I just to be sure? I mean, I know that it's perfect, right? But if you click on that last button up at the top, can you share your screen again and just click on that to grid? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just a second. Gotta find the right buttons here. There we go.
Because I think that not everyone's as precise or when they're building, but that
Sure.
snap to
I'll show
grid
you real quick.
is really, really important.
I'll show you real quick. This was my seed pole. This is where I duplicated from. Now I've got the location open, and you can do this too on the box. You know, you got these other things here, and I got rotation open and all this. This is telling me that this pole is exactly 405 meters from the center of the world and 55 meters from the center of the world in the north-south direction. There's no decimal points. That means it's right on the money. Same with the rotation, 180 or 0. Let's mess this up. Let's push it over here. We'll put it right there. Maybe a couple of shift clicks, that's shorter clicks, and let's rotate it a couple times. Now, let's say I want to make a copy from that. Look how messed up it is. It's not in the center, and it's also got some rotation in it that's not right. So you right click it. Yes.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
So you so before you want to use it as a seed object, you need that straightened up. Or you need to make a copy of it, which is probably more likely. Make a copy from it, and you know your copy's messed up. So this second from that right button is called Reset Rotation. And that will take care of, you see how it moved? I clicked it once, and now it's perfectly lined up north, south, east, west as far as rotation. It's also a little bit off of the grid too. As you see, it's only 3.37, 0.85. It should be either 0 or 5 there. So I'm going to also click Snap to Grid. Boom. Now, the decimals are wiped out except for 5, but 5 is one click. So I'm going to move it one click that way, another click. Now it's 55, and then I'm just going to push it up forward one click. Now I'm 405 and 55. I'm right in the center. But that's what you want to do. You got to make sure that your first duplicate you make is lined up properly. And like I said, all of your poles are perfectly lined up. So I didn't show you that initially, but I was going to show you this anyway. Okay, so you want to always hit this reset rotation and snap to grid before you actually use a duplicate.
And I would always use that on the walls. Those walls that you've perfectly put in place, I would always go snap to grid on those just to make sure that they are snapped to grid. So when Scott does that, right click on one of those walls there, Scott, and go snap to grid, and you won't see anything happen when he snaps to grid.
Nothing happen, yeah, because it's already snapped to grid. It's lined up properly.
But if it was a little bit off, then it would snap it perfectly onto the grid, and you wouldn't have the overlap.
Let's say I just moved it a little bit off. You see there's a gap here, and it's an overlap on this side. So I'm going to right-click on it. Now I'm going to go snap to grid. Boy, look at that. I put it right exactly where it needs to be.
It's your best friend.
Yes, and so is the reset rotation. Let's say something's not rotated straight. You just right-click on it and click Reset Rotation, bada bing.
So it'll always set it to north, south, or east, west.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and every time you turn it, it's 15 degrees exactly. So.
Okay, I want you guys now to do what I did, and don't be sloppy. If you're an experienced builder, make sure that you're only doing full clicks, just a regular click. Don't be holding shift and shift control down because you'll get things out of alignment. So go to your lot, make yourself a PP01. It's right there in the chat. It's PP01. Copy that and make yourself a perfect. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Am I talking? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. And make it, make yourself a perfect cube. Seamless. If you can do that without a problem, then you have tackled one of the toughest things that anybody ever struggles with in building. Making your panels and all your other edge-to-edge objects perfectly aligned.
Wait, how do you fly?
Fly?
Plus key.
If you have a keyboard with the extra number pad on the right, you press the big double-sized plus key and you'll go up. And then the minus key above it will take you down. If you don't have that, you'll probably have to use configure controls in the options settings to assign an up and a down, move up and move down key on your keyboard.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let me know if if that doesn't work for you, or if you don't have a number pad, then there is a way to set, a couple of keys somewhere else on your keyboard for fly up and down.
If you got this down, really feeling like you got this, maybe they could try putting a floor on and a ceiling.
Yeah, at least a top. If you think you've got this lined up
I already
perfectly,
did.
okay. If you think you've got this lined up perfectly, and a good test is to go. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still sharing. Well, I'm gonna share this and just show you real quick. A good test is to get in a position where you see a corner, two sides, right click one, and then right click the other. And if that middle line never changes or moves, you know it is perfectly lined up. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I think
Perfectly lined up, Gabe. All right.
Murray nailed
None of those
it too,
are
I
changed.
believe.
Okay, I'll quit sharing. Sorry.
Yeah, Murray nailed
Kind of
it.
annoying.
Good for you, Murray.
I was wondering, what's the floor or the roof panels called? Like the number?
It's the same thing. All you have to do is, once you got your cube, duplicate one of your sides, and then bring it back, and then click it up 8 clicks. So the bottom edge is on the top edge of the building, of the wall, and then use the, let's see, it'll be the X. You would use, oh, I'm not sharing anymore. You would use the, you know how to rotate objects? Okay, you would use the 2 buttons for the X direction, the first 2 rotate buttons, and you can tilt your panel that you moved up over 90 degrees so it covers the top, like a lid on a hinge. That's
Okay.
See what I mean? Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. It looks like, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me cry.
Yeah, you guys are doing. Trust me, we've done this a number of times before, and I don't think I've ever seen a group do this well. Which may sound silly, but it's just a matter of being able to follow directions.
Yeah, we keep saying this sounds simple, but I'll tell you what. I bet you if you took a poll of everybody here, all skill levels of who builds, I'll bet you half of them don't even know what I'm talking about. When you say, well, don't you know how to line up the corners? Huh? What? They just eyeball it. Yeah, it's close, And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with building that way. But it won't get you a good grade in this class. We're teaching you how to build right in here. So many of our past experienced student helpers, we call them help turns. We've already got everybody we need for this year, at least now. But usually, I will ask somebody who has taken this class before if they've got the time. Sometimes they ask me, but they help. Mostly simple building help when people have questions. Because I tell you what, when you've got hundreds of building students in here working on their lots, you imagine how many telegrams I get, especially at the beginning of the school year, when very few of them really know how to do it right. So it really helps to have, 5 or 6 or 7 experienced students out there. I give them bold chat so people know that they're a helper, and it really helps.
Scott, can I get people, once they've got their box done, to stand on top of their box, and I'm going to take their picture, okay?
Oh yeah, definitely. Go ahead. Once you know you've got a nice flat. Oh, Isabel,
Okay.
that's something I was going to talk about for the floors. The floors, since we're flush on the ground, you notice now you can't right-click on that one that's on the bottom. A quick and dirty way to get at it is to hold Shift and then just fly underground, just a little bit. Then look up and you can see it, and you can right-click it under there. Then you can move it where you need it. And then once you've got it lined up, hold down Shift and click the up button just once. And then that will move the floor up a few centimeters from the ground so it doesn't blend into the ground where you can't get at it.
Okay.
That was the last thing I was going to say. If we were going to do,
I got Jeremiah,
I wanted to make sure that we got the top. So
Benjamin, and
Right.
and Leo. Okay, so
yeah.
Amori, could you get on top of your box, please? I'll take it from the other side because I know that you had it. Just, can you get rid of that roof panel and just stand on the... Here, just going to move that over. Just stand on the top of your roof, please. Amori?
Emery, could you stand on top of the box you made
That's
there?
it.
Thanks.
Whoops.
I'm trying. There.
You missed the landing. There we go. Okay, so got Amori.
She didn't stick the landing.
Joseph. Here come Joseph.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, oh no. I went out. Sometimes I click on the wrong button.
You guys are great. This is starting out very nice. I have such trouble getting, especially brand new builders, but even experienced builders, it's hard to get across to them how important this really is, especially people that have been building for a while. You really do need to make sure that your duplicated objects that you start out with are lined up with the reset rotation and the snap to grid. Now once you've done that, it might be rotated in the wrong, you might want it east and west and it might be lined up north and south. You can of course rotate it and get it lined up that way. But you want to always make sure that you hit that reset rotation and snap to grid on your first copies, and then the ones that you're going to be copying from, and that way they'll always be lined up, and there will be no gaps, no overlaps. We'll talk about a couple other things about gaps, because it has to do with the size of the panels that we're using. We're not going to talk a lot about our more complicated and cooler looking objects in this class, because we're teaching you the basics, and the hardest thing about building is using the simplest objects. It truly is.
So,
Using panels are hard to build with.
okay, so some of them are onto textures. Are we wanting to expand that now?
They're just, those different textures are just the different objects. We're not even, the reason why the texture is different is because they used a PP32 or they used a PPE31 or a PP02. They didn't use the texture command. We're not doing that yet. That's why there's different textures. It's not because they're using the texture command. They're just putting a different object in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have different texture. Okay. So the next thing we're going to show you, and this is a set that I want everybody to get used to. It's very handy. Let's say you want a window on one of your walls. Well, right-click one of your walls on your cube and change it from a PP, whatever number you use, to a PW for window. So instead of saying, for instance, PP01, it'll be PW01. See, it won't be PP01, it'll be PW. That's for a window. Same size panel. Let's see, what happened there, Isabel? Okay, you got too many P's in there. It just needs to be PD. Just change the second P to a D or a W, as in window. That's all you got to do there. Now you got a window. Let's say you want a doorway. Right-click another one of your walls and change the second P to a D, as in dog. That's for a doorway. Same size. It fits all these panels, and it's a great set for making things from scratch. You know, building something from scratch. We can use this. So you got the PP, you got the PW, and you got the PD. The three main. There are many other parts to this set. And we'll be talking about those throughout the classes. But boy, you know, I figured this was going to take us at least 35 minutes to get everybody to get it right. And here we are, half that time, and everybody's got a perfect cube.
Wonderful. Are they going to resize?
Yay, class.
Can they do resizing of their?
I was going to talk about, we can. I was going to talk about maybe putting a door in your doorway if you want a door. I can tell you that we've got a set of doors that fit that doorway perfectly, and they're called G-door. I'm going to type it in the chat. G-door 1, and it's through G-door, I think it's 44. So any one of those, G-door 1, G-door 2, the nice ones kind of start about G-door 10. 10, 11, 12, some of those are all different types of looking at doors, but they're the right size for this doorway. And there's one little trick that you got to do to get that door to be perfectly in line, because the center of that door is not in the center of the door, it's on one edge. See, so you can't really line it up with whole clicks. You got to use shift clicks. So once you get it close enough where the next time you click it, it goes over the edge, then just click it back, hold down shift, and use shift clicks to get it right exactly against the other side. I tell you, if you guys get these habits right now, I mean, you will have so much less problems building. I'm not saying you're not going to have any problems. I got plenty of problems every day building. That's what building is. Building is problem solving. We are teaching you problem solving in 3 dimensions. I think G-door 4, that's not the right texture for it. It wasn't. Something happened in my object path, and I got 2 textures the same overridden. I think G-door 4 is something like something in a dungeon or something. Yeah. Yeah, I got to fix a lot of those. Okay, so I'm going to do something here while we're getting ready. I'm putting today's. And yes. Go ahead.
G-door 4 is actually a glass kind of door with a sailing ship on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a cool one. So we built a cube. We've done windows and doors. I've got on here to learn about the color command. I guess we could. We've got the time. Here's something for mostly new builders. I know you experienced guys can do it, but let's say you like your panel, but you'd rather have it just be a solid color instead of a texture. Well, I'm going to do it on my example here. You right-click that panel, and you type in create color, and I'm just going to say red for now. So I typed in create color red in the action box of my wall here. And that's basically how you use the color command. Now, I'm talking about commands here, guys. I'm talking about, we talked about, I guess this is the first actual command we're talking about. But we're going to be talking a lot about different commands. And they're all pretty much typed the same. You know, you type them in the action box. You always have to have a trigger in front of your command. And the trigger we use most of the time is create. And we'll talk about that too. Now, I noticed some of you are still struggling with the door. You want to line up the door with the panel, the doorway panel, and then click it over until you can get it as close as you can on one edge before, if you click again, it goes over. So you're going to want to click it as far as you can with normal click, then hold down Shift, and then click it the rest of the way to fill in the rest of the gap. That's smaller than a regular click, but you still need to move it over. Understand what I mean? So just right-click your door and then hold down Shift, then use the Move Left button to finish lining it up.
Now I noticed that Jeremiah has already progressed to the point. Oh, so, others too are putting in the swinging doors. Joseph, I went ahead and put the programming into your door there, so you see it swinging open and shut. If you want your door to be opening and closing, you can go to one that does it and right-click on it and see what the programming is.
And now the programming in Joe's door is copied over. You know, we've already done some of this stuff before, and I think you've seen it. But if you look at that code, we are not going to talk about what's in that code. We're not going to be talking about colliders, hinges, and ball joints and all that kind of stuff, simply because we still have users with computers that are old enough that those particular action commands cause problems to their computers. Now, the reason why we're using it in the door is because we also put in solid no or solid off. So if it doesn't work right for somebody, at least the door is non-solid and they can still walk in. But that's the only time we're actually going to be using that collider. A simpler way to do your door, make it open, is to type in, I'll just type it right here in my screen. It's not going to be create. We're going to use a different trigger called activate, which means when somebody clicks, then do the command. So it's going to be activate, rotate, up, rotate. I'm typing it into chat, so don't worry. Activate, rotate, and for the y-axis, you can just use one number. So I'm going to just go 5. Or no, in this case it's going to be 15, and then time equals 1. So type that. I know that it's kind of weird, and, you know, it's code, but just type in activate, rotate. Oops, why doesn't this work? Oh, I didn't put it in. Okay, activate, rotate 15. Then space time equals 1. What that means is your door is going to open up to 90 degrees. That's what the 15 means. It's something you got to figure out in algebra, but we don't do that. We just use 15. And then the time means how fast it's going to rotate. So if you want to try that, Joe, that's fine. What you've got in your door is fine too, though. So try that, and then once you've got that activate, rotate, just click your door, and you'll see that your door will rotate open. Easy peasy. Most of the coding we use is just a few words. I mean, I know that you probably right-click maybe somewhere or have heard of somebody right-clicking somewhere and seeing, oh, a whole bunch of junk and stuff typed in. That's only for very special occasions when we need, specific things done. But most of the time, most of this coding is pretty short. There are options that can be added and that sort of thing, but you guys, I'm starting to sound like Mrs. Cellini. She just loves it when everybody does well. I don't know if anybody has Mrs. Cellini, but she gets very enthusiastic when the class does well. And I'm starting to feel like her because you guys are just you're making me want to cry. It's just amazing how good you guys did, guys. I was so worried, Gord. I'm always worried when we do this lesson. I pretty much, I think we've covered it. I don't want to push a lot of different things, and we've only got a few minutes left.
I think these guys are ready though to expand their little house. That's a little bit small of a house.
Well, yeah, but we don't want it to go beyond that 10 meters. So next week, right now, this is good for this week's class. If you want to change the texture or that kind of thing on your build, that's fine. But please, this week, don't do any expanding because we're going to want to take a screenshot of this before class starts to document what you've done for this week. We'll wait until that time before we'll get that. So I don't want anything to mask, in front of what is required to be there for the picture. We put it on starting next week. So.
Okay, Scott, do they have lots in Logos World?
Oh yeah, every one of them does.
They do?
Sure that. Yeah, oh yeah. That's where we want you to go wild.
So I wonder if you guys want to build an expanded one there. I would like to come and see an expanded one there next week.
Hey, Gord.
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I show you something on my lot in Logos?
Not at this particular moment, but I would love to come next week and visit everyone's logo slot.
Yeah.
And see what you built there.
We'll do that next week. That'll be excellent. That's an excellent idea. I want everybody to look up front.
Okay, what are they doing for homework, Scott? Is that what you're going over?
Sorry about that. Everybody look up front. I just want to show you, I've laid out on this screen here, starting today, October 4th, this is what we need to have on your lot, and really nothing else, unless you want to change a texture or a color, but please don't add more stuff to the outside or even onto the inside of your lot here. If you want to do some creative building, please use your logo slot. That's what it's there for. You guys need to practice anyway. Just coming to class, you're probably not going to get very good at this if you just do it while you come to class. But that's this coming week's requirement for your lot. And you pretty much got everything on there. So like I said, just if you want to mess with a different texture or a different color.
Car?
Uh-huh.
I have a really big thing on my lot and I don't want to delete it because I used up almost my whole lot.
Okay, is it covering, oh, you mean in logos?
Yeah.
Well, that's up to you. If you want something that big on your lot, that's your...
So I don't think I'll have room to make a little thing like cube thing.
All I can say is it's your choice to use the big piece that's using up all of your lot. If you want to use your lot for something else, maybe use scale to make it smaller, or just do something else so you've got the room for what you want to do. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, class is officially over. So if you've got other things to do, you can run off. I'm just going to say real quick, I am so glad you guys did so well today, and you must remember that when you start a new build, always make sure that you reset rotation and snap to grid on your first copies so everything you copy from is nice and straight, no overlaps, no gaps.